Hey everyone, welcome to the live stream. I'm going to be working some more on Dashing Dodgems today. I haven't live streamed in ages, I think. Kind of had this little interruption called a baby that came through. And I couldn't really stream with a crying baby in the background, or the lack of sleep that's usually part of having a young baby. But yeah, the baby is off to his grandmother today, so I can do the stream, and so I can just work all day without interruptions, basically. For those of you who are not familiar with Dashing Dodgems, the game that we're working on over on Yellowcake, it is a sort of top-down, slightly isometric bumper car battle arena game coming out for consoles and PC. In it, you drive. Nope, not my scene. These little bumper cars that I can't drive right now because of the way that we have our control set up, but I can at least show you around in what kind of arenas you'll be fighting. So here's one of the arenas here. Basically what happens is everything in this arena is destructible. So these buildings and these little fences and whatever, everything, if you hit it, if you drive into it, it will either crumble down or get shoved around or whatever. The objective is to fight against several other players to knock each other into the water. And in this game mode, at least, we're going to have other game modes too. The last person to still be driving around on these roads will be the winner. At some point during matches, these pieces of floor, as you can tell, we've divided the entire map up into these chunks. They will start falling down into the sea. Actually, the roads won't, so I'll grab a different chunk. But like this chunk will fall down into the sea. So the map will shrink in size, kind of like this battle royale thing. But yeah, we don't use one of those shrinking circles. We use kind of these tiles falling down as a simile of that. I see a broken texture. I'm gonna fix that real quick. Don't know why that happened. Let's see, I need a T-split. Just grab my... So this is set up correctly. I don't know why it's not rendering correctly. That's very interesting. Let's try that again. Let me just reset the UV here, because this is very clearly all wrong. Okay, hold on. Reset. Yes, now it's working. Fit upper left. There we go. It's just kind of twisted around. There we go. Fixed. All right. Well, game dev, easy. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of Dashing Dodgems. If you're kind of more curious about what it's all about, there we have a trailer out. If you search for Dashing Dodgems in YouTube, or you check out our Twitter over at Yellowcake, which is here. You can find the trailer here too. But basically, yeah, that will show you what the gameplay is like. I can't really play right now because of reasons. Other things, yeah, what I'll be working on today is a little bit of a redesign for our... Oh, shit, no, should have hit save. But it's a redesign for our join scene. I'll show you that in a second as soon as I redo fixing this texture, because I am a dumb man. Let's set it here, reset UVs, thank you. Set that to fit upper left, and set that one to 180. Love it. All right, let's hit Ctrl S this time before we exit out of this this scene. So yeah, what I'm going to be working on is the join scene, which Victor is actually doing the most of the work on. So he's our 3D artist, so he's doing kind of building these islands that represent the different themes that we're going to have. So as a player, whenever you join a game, you'll start in the middle here, and there will be these different islands representing the different themes, and within these islands we'll have these little pedestals, which are also not yet designed, that represent the different levels within that theme. So you choose a theme by driving over to an island, and then you'll choose a level by parking your car on one of these little pedestals, basically. And it's fairly easy to design these islands because you can just grab the assets from those themes and then add these cool little Mario-like tubes and whatever, and make a fun little island of it. It's like that's not the the difficulty, basically. We are kind of we have to find some cool solution for this center part here, because well, we haven't defined anything outside of the 4 themes that we have. So it might be that the center part also mixes between those themes that we have, or that it's going to get a completely different theme, or we're just not too sure as of yet. So my work process for this is I'm going to start by just doing a little brainstorm, what you might call it, on this stuff. I'm hoping that my audio is working, by the way. Lance could confirm that. Am I still in the... Oh, also, Lance is listening in. And also... Yep. Yeah, if people in the chat could confirm that you can hear me well and that you can also hear Lance correctly, then we know we can proceed. And then everyone watching is just getting shy. Really? Oh, okay. Let me just fix that real quick. I think that's... Oh, yep. Yep, that makes sense. And then this one, let's quickly do... Sorry, as I said, I've not been streaming for a while. So all this setup stuff is kind of... Oh, this is interesting. I had it set up in such a way that you can only hear Lance if I'm drawing on my Cintiq, and you cannot hear him if I'm working on my main screen. But you should be able to hear him now. Lance, if you could say some stuff.
Yes, I'm still here. Hello. Also at work, also doing things.
All right, that should work.
Welcome to the stream.
Yep, okay, cool. All right, and the automatic scene switches back on, so now if I go from a Cintiq to the other thing, it works. Cool. So yeah, what I'm going to be doing is, first I'm just going to think about some of this stuff. I actually have some ref somewhere. I think it might be here. Probably shouldn't have closed out Twitch. Yep. Oh, God. Cool. So, no, I do not want to use, yes, thank you. We do actually have some stuff, join realm, but I think this might be, no, this is some ref for the new join realm, though it's very, I was thinking about this industrial stuff and then was thinking about how to introduce some color into there, because I don't just want to do gray, because gray is really boring. So I've also painted or sketched that version before, but it's still not very, yeah, it's not very lively. It doesn't match how colorful and fun our game is, right? I kind of want to do some of this stuff here. Like, I think this one, this piece here is rather interesting. It has these lines and stuff going over it, but I don't know how to integrate that with what we're doing in our game. I might do some tubes or I don't know. We'll see. I want to start out very much by thinking just about the function of it. So we have these. Let me just open the chat so that I can see if you guys have any. Maybe up his volume a little. All right. Oop. Lance.
Yes. I'm
All
looking
right.
up numbers.
Just checking if they can hear you better now. If I set the desktop audio a bit higher.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no problem.
That's better?
Yeah, I'm a little
All
quiet.
right.
I'm looking at some numbers over here, so I'm here. I'm around.
All right, cool. Yeah, so to tell you guys what we're just in general doing over at Yellowcake right now is we are looking at funding. Basically, we need money to make this video game. Right, we're all part timers, and that's all fun and great and what have you. But no game can be made without money. So we're looking at, okay, how are we going to fund this development? How are we going to ensure that Yellowcake still exists if we launch Dashing? Like, how many copies do we need to sell to make sure that Yellowcake can exist for another year after that, when the funding expires, because you've released your game, so you no longer get any publisher funding. So what do you do after that? How many copies do you need? That kind of stuff. We've been over this with the entire company last week. It took us about a day.
Pretty much a day, yeah.
And then we sent it around to some people, or we showed it to some people, and they told us some new stuff. So Lance is kind of calculating some of those new factors,
doing some number crunching.
Yeah.
Seeing where it goes, what we need, like spending, regular spending, what you need, and yeah, exactly. It's important to kind of calculate what the amount of copies will be until your publisher is happy and can go on his merry way, and when you're happy as a company, like when do you start to see like positive changes in your bank account, essentially? And you got to know those numbers. You got to know, how much do I need to sell? How many of these copies? How many people are buying your game? But how many do you need, most importantly? And thus, how high does your price need to be? How low? There's a lot of stuff involved, guys.
Oh yeah, it doesn't help that. Well, I mean, what's really cool is that there's a lot of. We're with three people. So there's me. I'm the game designer and 2D artist and UI artist, and I do a lot of random other stuff, but mainly game design and 2D art. Then there's Lance, who does basically biz dev and programming, so development. And then there's Victor, who does 3D. He doesn't really have any other. He also does. I mean, we all chip in on the game design. Let's be clear there. Absolutely. But Victor mostly does 3D, and then thereby also part of the level design.
I would also say he does a lot of like sanity checking and perhaps even some quality assurance here and there.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah. No, that's
I get sloppy sometimes.
I always skip that over. But Victor's kind of exactly. He's kind of the guy who goes through the project, for instance, to see if we're working cleanly, and he does a lot of optimization testing. And
that's right, he does. Holy shit! Yeah, he's actually probably worth noting. He's actually working ahead a little bit as well of us in terms of he is working on the new rendering pipeline used by the newer versions of Unity. At the moment, we're all not using that. We're still using the deferred built-in renderer that's part of Unity 2019 and below. Meanwhile, Victor is actually checking out the new stuff, which is way more performant and runs a lot better on our targeted platforms. So he's also like kind of doing some R&D, like some research and development right there.
Yeah, absolutely
Yeah.
true. I think Victor also came up with the studio.
He also did came up with the company name. That's right. He did like years ago though. But yeah, he's the one. He, as you can tell, Victor does a lot of things around the company for sure.
Yeah, I think I misrepresented that he only does 3D. He does so much more. But I mean,
we like to say, yeah,
he's mainly 3D artist, right? But we're
That's
a small indie studio, so everybody does. We all have a million jobs, like
lots of overlapping
yeah,
tasks for sure,
absolutely.
right? You also do testing. We also
I mean, and you're I mean, Lance is biz dev, but sometimes I have contact with publishers or whatever. I mean, everything overlaps. Our specializations, I think, we don't really. So where Lance is very much a programmer, like none of us touch your code, and nobody else touches Victor's 3D assets, and everyone touches all of my work for some reason.
There's a question coming in about music and sound effects. Well,
oh yeah, we're using.
I think we can say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll plug them actually. So our music and sound effects being done by Claynote Audio. So it's being run by, or I think the entire. Oh, there we are. It's a audio studio run by Rick. God, what's his last name? Rick van Nieuwdorp. Of Rick Nieuwdorp. And he's, as you can tell, he's done a lot of audio design for games and music. His specialization is adaptive music for video games specifically over the years, and he's a fairly good friend of mine. So I asked him, hey, do you want to do this for our studio as well? And he was like, yeah, sure. And he didn't really even ask for any money. And in hindsight, we made a mistake, Lance. We're actually paying him. We didn't.
Oh man! No, it's probably definitely all worth it though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's doing a really. Cool
you gotta
job,
pay, guys. You gotta pay your audio guys. They make the game come alive, right?
Absolutely.
It's one thing finding free assets, and it's a whole other thing when it's specifically made for your game.
Yeah.
And the version control involved. Yes, actually, we use Git. We use Gits for all our stuff. Not beloved by everybody on the team, but we all know how to use it. We use that in combination with Source Tree, which is you can see on the stream in a minute, and GitLab behind all that to use our for our issues and regular maintenance. Yeah.
So here's our GitLab board, for instance. So I think the actual repo is also on Git. We're not using GitHub. We are using GitLab too, though, right?
Lab, not GitHub. Lab.
But so yeah, we also do our Scrum board on here, basically. Yeah. So here you can tell that Lance, does most of the work, and now, we kind of divide our tasks up here, and then once every 2 months we have a sprint review, and then we fill the sprint backlog with stuff that gets put into the backlog here. And whenever one of us has an idea or things like, oh, we should do this, then we just toss it in the backlog, and then during the sprint planning we kind of toss whatever is relevant for a certain sprint into the sprint backlog. Then within 2 months we do everything that's here, and then here we kind of I'm not working on this, by the way. And
right now our current sprint is all about refactoring, cleaning up. We actually had a really successful event in October, and as a result of that, we really needed like a sprint of 2 months approximately to sort of like go through the project, kind of put things in place, kind of organize it a little bit more, just so we can feel much better, much secure, confident in going forward, because we got to go faster and faster. We actually pick up speed more and more as we near potential release. So yeah, we are currently doing refactoring, both code and projects, assets, everything. And I think 4 weeks left. Yeah, 4 weeks about.
Something like that. Yeah, so basically right before Christmas. So Christmas is kind of a nice cutoff point for us. We're going to end this this sprint, and then start doing UI and
Great.
creation and customization.
Actually, looking forward to that. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, I know UI is probably like the least favorite part of a lot of people that I know, including ourselves. But for this, but real, like this time I'm actually looking forward to it a little bit. I think it's gonna make a lot of difference. Yeah, we're European based. We are based out in the Netherlands right now. That's where we founded the company. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is wrong. Rocks, roads. Did we have a highway idea before?
We did.
For the join menu.
Oh, the join. No.
Didn't I do?
Oh no, we did.
Sketch where everyone is just kind of driving along on a highway, and then you take a certain turn to indicate a choice.
Yeah, that's right.
Something?
Yeah, an exit would be a choice. That's right. It would go in an exit. Yeah, that's right. We did have an idea of that. Yeah, I remember. No, we didn't visualize any of that. I think it was just like.
I think I might have made a sketch, but just so you guys who are watching know what that means. I'm probably the least organized person on the team, as befits a 2D artist. It's probably in here somewhere. One of these, all these mock-ups and sketches that I do. And it's weird. I actually did the folder cleanup for our for the Unity project. So this here now is very organized. It used to be the absolute horrible mess. But now you have all these clean folders sorted by theme, and then you have all these nice little subfolders there, and it's very, very, very nice, if I say so myself. And then my personal folder structure is just like art, blah. So
I would say it's the same for me, not gonna lie. As a programmer, I definitely like organization, but I have a debug folder as well. I don't think it's crap right now, but I will say this, it will be crap, because if I'm only testing stuff, I just dump it together, and then if it's like good enough, I will like organize it and put it in its place and put it in production. So yeah, I think debug folders are supposed to be messy. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It does make it hard. Like whenever I'm talking to the guys, like I'm talking to Lance now about brainstorming, and I go, I made a mock-up for that once. Like I know I wrote it down somewhere in the mess, and then it gets quite bad. Did we do? Remember the teleportation shit that we had? For the loading screen as well. We could do that for the. I don't want to go back to religion and.
No, I think we. No, I think we tried.
We tried that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't really fit.
That.
Yeah.
Maybe not that. Be very, very grounded. It could also just be some kind of like abstract.
Yeah.
Just color and shapes.
Tron. Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds interesting.
Could also be Tron, yeah, or kind of like that synthwave. What do you?
Yeah, I'd say Tron, but
that you.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, well, I like that stuff for sure, but
I don't want to. Yeah, the only thing is, I think we're about to end the 80s. By the time that this game releases, 80s are not going to be hype anymore. Right?
No, that trend is definitely on the downfall. Yeah. I see less and less of that.
So it's going to be 90s next. So what was popular in the 90s, and that's what we got.
Well, still a lot of colors, but
yeah, you had those weird
jackets, right?
Yeah, those triangle and green squiggles and
purple, green.
Yeah,
I think purple was a good 90s color. Purple. I remember a lot of purple.
That's 80s though. Purple.
Is it?
Right. Yeah, I mean with the synthwave stuff.
Yeah, all right.
You had
I don't know,
things, right? Those weird squiggles, and then that's a green squiggle with.
That's true. Yeah. Like that is true. Yeah, for sure.
Not that
I don't know why I remember jackets and shit.
Well, you had those
like high pants. You know what I mean? Like where the socks show a lot. And high waist pants and sneaker shoes, like those like OG Nikes, and
Denim.
when I was younger,
lots and lots of denim.
a lot of denim. I think it was definitely a denim era. I would say. I would almost say I had a lot of denim. What's up, Jungle? Got a question for me. Let's hear it.
It's kind of like this.
Memphis design. I mean, what did you type? 90s color jacket. Okay. Oh, there it is. See, there's a lot of purple. Oh,
there is a lot of purple, but also the green and the yellow.
That's right. Like all of these, are they like, they're not clashing necessarily, but they don't look together.
Kind of muted. Like they
yeah.
I don't. Oh, look,
there's I can see a palette. I don't know. The stream is a little delayed, but I saw like a little palette with like all the colors next to each other. You can see like there was a
this
green,
one
purple.
Yeah.
I'm
not sure if I want to do.
No, I don't know about this. Like a lot of like.
It's not an aesthetic
pastel.
I like.
See, the question is, how did you get started in games as a programmer? I focus heavily on web development and tried finding projects to work on in the game development area. All those people in Game Dev League and other platforms look for some sort of experience. All right. Well, it's kind of a funny story. When I was young, my first PCs and all that wasn't really programmer friendly. I started off just messing around on a Commodore and Amiga. My first real programming experience was actually hacking. For some reason, I started off I thought it was fun, just making viruses. But I was like 11, so the viruses were mostly lots of annoying pop-ups and making your CD drive open up and hiding this on files that people wouldn't be aware of. So I programmed that shit in C# didn't exist back then, but it was Visual Basic. And then I started hacking the old school MSN chat rooms using the IRC protocol. So I was already a little bit in that sort of thing. It still wasn't any C-based language. I started doing actual game programming starting off in high school when XNA. This was in a time where Unity didn't even exist yet, or at least it might have existed as a very like niche engine back then. This was like mid 2000s, late 2000, like 2007. I found XNA, which was C#, which was like early C# for games back then, I guess. And I just messed around with it. I don't know. I just started making really shitty 2D games. Like I think my first project was like, let me remake Pong. I always make Pong, just to get the hang of like input, like sort of fake physics, I guess, and basic rendering. And I guess from XNA, I went to Unity, and then from Unity, because I still work with XNA, at least a version of it. I work with Monogame a lot. I actually made a game with it recently. But Unity was, I started working with Unity at 2010, 2011 or something like this. So almost a decade ago, actually, yeah. But I started off like early hacking, like doing like little projects as a kid, like seeing what other people were doing and kind of trying to understand this. And that was just my hobby. Other kids would go outside, play Dragon Ball Z on the playgrounds, but no, me, I really needed to understand how I could hack people. That's how it started off. I don't know, bad example, but it is what it is. I don't do that shit anymore though. It's I don't know.
Bad. Okay.
Well, bad, sure, but also less interesting for me where I'm at right now. I don't think there's a lot of money for me.
And it's fairly illegal.
Oh yeah, it's also fairly illegal, isn't it? Yeah.
And
although funny though,
did you do modding before you went into? Did you do modding at any point?
Modding.
I can't believe we didn't really talk about that stuff too much.
Yeah, I did a little bit of modding, but it was like later on. I remember the Elder Scrolls Morrowind, and because I played Morrowind a little bit at the end of its lifetime when Oblivion was already announced. So when Oblivion came out, I actually jumped in and made stuff for Oblivion, and this was really simple stuff. Like first it's like adding books, and then it's like adding NPCs, and at some point I added my own dungeon because it's like Lego the way that engine works. So I did modding like this, but I did a lot of modding in Unreal Tournament when I was in my early teens. I played a lot of Unreal Tournament, and the Unreal Engine back then was nothing like it is today. So making maps. So I did a lot of level design. And is that considered modding? I think it is considered modding. Like I made a lot of extra maps for this particular game. Unreal Tournament was my jam. I love that game so much. I made a lot of maps. I have a few still from like the early days, Unreal Tournament 99, and I made a map for Unreal Tournament 2004. And then after I went to it's called the Cry engine. No, the Cryo. I don't know the engine name of Elder Scrolls. I forgot the name. Gamebryo, I think. Gamebryo, I believe it is. But after that, I didn't mod anymore. Like I don't mod anymore. It was it definitely stopped when I started using Unity for some reason.
Because now you can just make a complete game from the ground up, right?
That's probably what it is. Yeah.
Having to start.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
I think we should do a mod sometimes.
Yeah, that'd be fun, right? Just kind of like grab an existing, do some modding. That'd be nice. Have you modded? You've modded, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's how I got into. That's why I asked. Like, a lot of people I know, myself included, got into making games just by doing modding, basically, or in my case, custom map making.
It's very accessible.
Yeah, it's just making, as we've noticed, making a game from the ground up is it's a bit of work.
A lot of work, sure. Yeah.
My stream keeps kicking out. But yeah, it's a fuck ton of work, and modding just allows you to kind of grab whatever's there, that just get right into the area that you find interesting, right? Like I don't enjoy. I do now, but I didn't used to like enjoy getting into the nuts and bolts of game design or game balancing or whatever. That was just
well, that was the beauty of it. You can just like not think about all of the like tweaking that goes into it, all the systems. You just go in, you make your mod with the tools,
Yeah, just like, oh, I find this interesting. So I find like level design is my favorite thing, and I could just kind of go in and make a map, and that's how I, got into it.
I don't know if you read the chat. I do. Jungle Oat says, I find myself in an awkward spot trying to create and showcase without art or something that's been created by someone many times. I used to really worry about that as well. Like, hey, I always have to make something unheard of, unknown. But at the end of the day, it's more about what your personal twist on it is. Like, how do you think a platformer could be, or how do you think an RPG might be? And I think a lot of people might appreciate a certain vision on a game, because a first-person shooter, you've seen all of them, but they're all different on the same principle. You have a thing, it shoots, you see it from the point of view of that person, but then you have Doom, and then you also have Call of Duty, right? They're so different, built on the same kind of principle. I think it's less about, hey, having to worry about something new or that nobody's done before, more about how can I take this genre, or even like a mechanic, how can I take this mechanic or feel or aesthetic. I usually go by aesthetic personally. Like, how can I take that and make it my own without worrying what other people are also doing? You can learn from people's mistakes, but it shouldn't stop you from trying something. And that's worth a lot more, even for people you want to work with. Like, maybe you're looking for a job, or you want to have an earning, you want to have some income from your games. I mean, players come in different sizes and shapes, and they want to play your game for what your game does and not what it's supposed to do compared to some other game, right? Unless it's like a blatant ripoff. Like, you cannot just go and make a Call of Duty Jungle Edition, right? So just do what you like.
Go and make... Oh, no, I can't throw shade on other people, but...
No, but like, you should just make the games you enjoy, or you think other people might enjoy, in the way you think is fun and good, as far as you're concerned. And if it's bad, you'll know. Like, for real, it doesn't even matter if people don't like your game. Cool, man. You take that info, you take that feedback, and you pour that in your maybe next project, or even in the same project, and like turn it into a different direction. Some people might enjoy that. Like, it's a different take on the same idea. Like it's all good. And from experience, it's never personal. Like if people don't like the game, it's not that they don't like you. It's usually they don't like the game for whatever reason.
Yeah. And also,
Yeah,
I
right. I
think,
mean,
again, to get back into modding, so that's why modding is so perfect. So if you think about the well, battle royale is a very big thing now, obviously, and Player Unknown, the guy who made the battle royale genre, basically, battle royale just used to be a Arma 2 or Arma mod, even
Arma mod.
made by Player Unknown. So that guy who now has this giant IP, the Player Unknown's
Brian
Battleground,
Green,
him,
right? Yeah.
he used to be a modder, right? He just, because he was like, oh, I don't have any assets and I don't want to make a first person controller and I want to make all these guns and animations and stuff like this. So he just got into modding in Arma and made battle royale in there, and the same goes for the creators of League of Legends, right? The first one,
Yeah.
Dota,
The Warcraft,
right, was a Warcraft 3 mod. So
that's right.
I think that's especially for programmers who want to get, kind of want to show that they can do certain things, but don't want to have to deal with artists, which is understandable, or can't find any artists for that matter. Just again get into modding, and then all the art and stuff is already there, and you don't have to worry about it, and you can just focus on the gameplay part, which is hopefully the part that you find interesting.
Yeah, I think a programmer in this example, I think it's more important that you think about, like, if you want to do a project but you don't have the art, usually I think that's okay. I think a programmer is perfectly capable of showing their skill or creativity by taking on maybe just a single mechanic, or how do you incorporate a certain tool in your games, or yeah, just take an idea, bring it to a prototype, and then even without art, I mean, have you seen the Overwatch prototypes? They look like shit, but you know what they do? They look like fun. They look like they got their mechanics going and it's working, right? And artists come in later on and make it pretty, but you could be doing a project without art at all, and still have a game. Like, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he did her Dota. Yeah, Yoram did mention the D word. That's right.
What is that?
No,
Dota?
he's like,
yeah,
Dota.
yeah.
I
Well,
don't
I
play
mean,
Dota. I used to play a little bit.
but it's the OG, like League of Legends, Heroes of the Storm, Dota 2. What else do you have? The mobile version.
Hon, you used to have Hon, Heroes of Never New Earth.
Oh,
I
right,
think.
yeah.
I don't know if it exists still.
But they're all based on the Dota mod from Warcraft 3, right? That's the. It's.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm absolutely certain. I actually.
I'm not I'm a mobile player personally. I used to try them, but it's not for me.
I played a ton of Heroes of the Storm, as you well know.
I do.
I don't know, roundabout. It's kind of boring, though. Unless we put that.
Who's working in the lobby? I guess Victor is, right?
Is he working in the lobby? I have it open, but just to take a screenshot. I'm not actually working in the.
Okay, that's fine.
I have no idea what Victor is doing. No, wasn't he gonna do?
He is. Yeah, what is he gonna do? He's gonna do the platforms.
Soka.
Yeah, he's working on the new theme, but he needed a. He needs me to make it work first. The actual thing, which I'm actually planning on doing right now, but I need to know. Is it in the archive? No, it's not.
What are you looking for? The join scene?
Yeah, that's right.
It's
Production.
in
Oh, it's not.
Scenes, just in the normal scenes, and then in debug, and then it's called join scene space redux in all caps.
Oh, in that.
Just in the scenes folder, which is above the assets folder.
I get it. Game scenes. I seen it just now. Archive. No, not archive.
Oh. Just
Production?
debug.
No.
Just right there. Game,
It's...
scenes, debug. Oh, sorry, Victor. It's in Victor. I thought it was right there, but it's in the Victor.
Oh, I see it. Redux. Yeah. Got you. I get it. Yep. All right. Got it. Okay, let's see what we got here. Fake news. Oh, I see. This is okay.
I've been binging all the impeachment hearings. Like Annie and I have watched 18 hours of full stop impeachment hearings. It's fucking interesting.
Wow.
Man.
It is though. Yeah, I don't have time for that, but I would have as well, I think.
Well, we're stuck sitting on the couch with a baby anyway, so.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
I don't know. It is hard, this shit, man. The join scene. I don't know. I'm not feeling any of these options here that I. Let's see what else we have. Let's see what else we have. It could just be very blank, kind of like this. We could still do a garage, but different.
Why?
Because I'm looking at a Micro Machines toy thing, and it has a little garage, and it looks very nice.
Oh.
I do want to like the idea of having the stripes and words on the floor. Is something that appeals to me a lot. Like that's what I liked in the industrial setting too. But no. Might want to pull it a bit more towards Hanna-Barbera. Where's all that stuff? It's up here somewhere. So yeah, basically, you know, I just steal stuff from the internet and then pretend.
No.
No. Oh, but look how cool this stuff is, right? That's what I want to. This is what I should keep in mind when I'm doing this stuff. Like this is what I want to have in the back of my mind all the time. I'm just gonna toss that in my little reference, if I'm allowed to. Oh well. I'll have to screenshot.
Draw some images.
Yeah. There we go. All right. So this is what I want to base this stuff on, right? So there's lots of asphalt, sure, but there's also lots of kind of like these warning stripes, which are cool. I kind of have the other one in there too. We still want to buy, for those of you looking, one of these playmats, but like really, really, really big. And then whenever we have a booth or whatever, we just kind of put that on the floor, because it is old buildings. It is very big inspiration for what our game looks like. Ended up. I want to grab this one too.
Truly the best design for a city.
It is so good. Just the amount of surface in this, like if this was an actual city, the amount of surface being taken up by roads, that's just crazy. Like, oh, here's one building and like so much roads. It's crazy.
Perfect. If you're a bumper car in our game, perfect.
Yeah. All right, let's see if I can do. It doesn't have to be round though, right?
No, not really.
Something in your house is done.
You know what that is? That's the laundry. Oh no, that's the dishwasher. My bad. My mistake. It's the 8 beeps of heaven. Cleanliness. Let's see. Let me make
the screenshot back here and do it 2D for now. Not so much looking for a job, just a community of game devs working a project where I can help out, if that makes sense. Well, I mean, there's Reddit.
Discord communities are good.
Discord community is very good.
Yeah.
What do I want to do with this? We want to go. Get rid of that. Do you think Victor will hate me if I reintroduce garages?
Most likely.
But what if you don't see the car? They just drive out of a covered garage.
What would be the point of them?
The fact that I have something to fill up this dumb area with.
What if it's like made of glass and the underneath is like machinery with like working, like you know, moving parts?
Cool, but also a fuck ton of work.
Sure, it is. Everything's.
Cool though. I mean,
yeah.
I think. But I don't think Victor is gonna go for that.
You can even, well, I can even animate it. It's just like a couple of rounding, like a couple of.
It's just a fuck ton of models that have to interconnect, which is the main issue that I would have with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can pitch it to him. See if he doesn't murder you for it.
Yeah.
Nah. Just sounds like a lot of work.
It is. I'm sure it is. Yeah. Shit, you probably hear me typing, don't you?
Yeah, that's right.
Shit.
I should get those. I should order those keycap rings.
Yeah, I need some. Let me know when you do.
Yep. Max of 8 players, right? By the way.
Max of 8 players. 4 of which can be on the same
console.
Device console. Yeah.
Hello there, X-Falcon. Welcome to the stream. How is your day today?
Sup, Falcon?
I think he's a student of ours. Fairly certain I know that name from the Discord server. At the end of the trailer, yeah. We've had some mixed responses.
Very mixed, yeah.
Trailer pigeon, but just to kind of fuck the haters type of thing, I'm gonna make sure that pigeon is in every single trailer we make.
Oh yeah.
Like whatever, even if it's just a cameo or somewhere in the background or whatever, or just gets hit by a car or whatever. I mean, he's gonna be.
Gotta keep the pigeon.
Gotta keep the pigeon. Does this make sense? Left to right, left to right, left to right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, this is Bart from 2GA3.
Bay 40, Bay 50, Bay
3
30.
GA3. All right. There's a lot of Barts, I have to say. What was that? There's one class that we have with like 4 Lukes or something.
Yeah, I think that's
that's crazy. All right, so you get something like this. You guys have a Discord server for the public eye. We do. Let me post a invite in the.
I have a link here.
Are you gonna do it? All right.
Yeah.
Lance is gonna drop an invite link in the.
I gotta. Can I actually paste a link in the chat right here? Does it get like flagged? Here it is. No, it doesn't get.
Yeah, you should be able to. I think I made both of you mods anyway.
Oh, I'm logged into the official Yellowcake stream. Why aren't you streaming on the official Yellowcake? Whatever.
Oh shit, we have.
I forgot that we have one, and I only remember it because I opened Twitch and it was logged in already as it. So whatever. There it is. There's the link. Anyways. All
right, next stream. So don't subscribe to my channel, guys. Subscribe to apparently our. Oh, it's 3 stars. I didn't give any rights to Yellowcake Games Live, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Okay. He's not even a friend of mine. Bad friend.
It's I don't remember when I made this account.
Time I user mod user ban user. Oh, I didn't want to make
probably a little
user.
while ago.
Wait, if I click mod user here, do I make him a mod?
Yeah.
How that works? All right.
Yes.
I guess. All right.
Cool.
Oh, now I'm looking at. Oh, but it is hosting my stream now.
Yeah.
You just did that, right? Oh, that's cool.
I did it. When I made the account, the thing, I did it automatically. Like I added all of us as a auto host.
I'll God, there's so many. I'll post.
We can do management later.
The invite for now.
What's that? I already posted it in the chat though.
No, but it's just 3 stars. Like the link it doesn't show up.
Oh.
Yeah, because you don't have the.
Can I post it now then?
I think you.
Now that I'm a mod.
But I just did. I just did it.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Like there whatever. I just did it.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, be sure to join the chat there, guys. It's a special one. There are. Some,
it's very special. You guys had like some weird time travel conversation the other day. What the hell?
Yeah.
Cool.
I never told you guys about this, but I actually when I was in Atheneum Plus, I had 2 years of philosophy classes.
That's
and
cool.
Time travel tends to come up a lot.
A lot, yeah.
But there's my philosophy teacher is fairly strict about a lot of things, or at least about these subjects that have been discussed very many times already, and they just go,
yeah,
this is a senseless discussion because blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Oh man, but I love time travel. Like that's like my main. Oh my god. I read so much about that shit.
I hate.
No, but I'm interested. Yeah. Portrayed in media.
Portrayed in movies. I agree. And shit. They just go.
Yeah.
I think did a pretty well job actually in Endgame. It just went.
Yeah, there's a singular line, singular path for time.
In theirs, yeah.
Yeah, in theirs. I was requested in university to give a little talk about time travel. I still have like the presentation where I actually tackled each form of time travel as portrayed in the media.
And
what the downfalls are of each, what like the uncertainty aspects of it, and how it's like non-existent, and like talking about the paradoxes involved, like the the grandfather paradox, and all of that shit. It's so interesting, though. It's so interesting. But yeah, it's a subject that you guys discussed on. I was like hands off. I was like, I am not going to say a thing, because you know how that goes.
Yeah. Once we get into it, I mean, it's
yeah. So let's see what we have here. We have another. This one. Okay.
So yeah, for those of you wondering what you're looking at, there's a area in our game where you kind of join the game, right? So you let's see if I can pull up this guy. Yep. So when you join a game, you have to imagine that there's kind of there's a main menu and you go through it, and there's 4 of these screens, basically 4 of these choose a character screens when you press A to join the game, and then you choose a character, and after that there's a little car customization menu where you make your little car, and you choose a front and a back end and a color and stuff like that. Once you get through that, you arrive in what we call our join scene, which is this guy, and it's very bare bones now because I'm still doing the design work for it. But basically, what it is we spawn the cars that you'll be playing with here, and then you can physically drive over to 4 islands that represent the different themes that we're going to have. So you can see we have 1 island now because we have 1 theme done. Then you drive over to the island and you pick a level by choosing one of these spots, and there's going to be little level previews there. But as you can tell, this middle part is just not designed yet, and so that's what I'm working on, just for those who joined the stream a bit later.
And I think a point of mentioning is that this is our 4th iteration, because we already have all of this done, but we needed a new approach. We already had a lobby scene that worked. We already had all of that done. But a couple of months ago, we decided to actually redesign it one more time, just so we can incorporate all of these separate themes into a more grander approach to how our players select each level, essentially, and still be cooperative in it, and almost like a democracy, how you select levels, and more on that way later. But no, this is obviously not our first try at it. It's actually our 4th try or our 3rd. You know how it is. You iterate, and hopefully this is the one.
So many iterations for this. I think this is the single most. I think level 1 might have had more iterations. That thing has been redesigned a million times over, or at least rebuilt a million times over too. But if not level 1, then surely the join scene is the thing that.
Yeah, I mean the entire game. We already had a game kind of done mechanically like over a year ago or 2 years ago. So we actually redone the game 3 times, where we adjusted what we wanted in it. And you know how you first get your main mechanic working, and then you kind of see what kind of supporting mechanics can you add until it's perfectly balanced. And we had a lot of tries at this, because we had a lot of like useless stuff in it, more, lots of baggage that we didn't need. And so this version of the game, it's like the 3rd version, and this is the one. And now we're trying the lobby scene as well for the 3rd time, 4th. It's all good though. You got to do that.
It's the 4th, yeah.
I don't understand how people can do something once and then be like, "Yep, this is it." Like, I don't.
One and done.
I don't understand that. Yeah, one and done. I don't understand this. I don't get it.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, just wanted to make sure that we're further ahead than we make you see. But yeah, let's see. Man, I need some graphics for this.
Do you know?
I do need some level previews later on.
Well, you can just make those though, right? Just screenshot them real quick.
Yeah.
Or do it with additive scene loading.
I want to, but I
Tank our
know
platform.
that's like recently you redid a level again, so I feel like if I make screenshots now, I feel like maybe I'll have to make them again. So I'm gonna just wait a little bit longer. I'll do without the Let's see. Good stuff though. Ooh, okay. Forgot about something. That's nice. At the moment, I'm the only one working in the join scene, and I would like to keep it that way.
Are you sure though that Victor isn't working?
I asked. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure this thing works with everything we have. Okay.
Oh, right. They keep it legible, but just not having it yet. Right. I can do that. I can do that. So for those of you maybe unfamiliar with processes like this, so basically what I'm doing is I'm making a mock-up to send to Victor, who's our 3D artist, so that he can build it in 3D. So I'm absolutely not concerned with making very clean art or rendering lighting or shadows or whatever. I might do some gradients just because to help clarify that some things have depth, but absolutely not going in there into the nuts and bolts and trying to make pretty art. Also because I want to be able to throw this away. Like, I'm just going to mock it up as quickly as I can, and then if at some point I go, I don't think it works, I just toss it away because I haven't spent too much time working on it. Even if I might have been working on this for, I don't know, 15 minutes or 10 minutes on this specific version. That's still very little time for something that a different artist might work on for, if I'm, oh shit, Photoshop crashed. Fucking hell.
Nice.
Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to redo it all anyway. Yay. I have that a lot when I set stroke widths on elements. It just goes nope. But yeah, so to reiterate, me spending 15 minutes or 20 minutes on something that I'm gonna throw away again isn't as bad as me completely designing a thing for 2 hours and then giving it to another artist like Victor who has to work on it for 8 hours, and then us realizing that it doesn't work and then having to throw away that work, right? So you're just spending like a couple of hours just trying out all these different versions. I mean, just as throwaway time, that's fine, in my book anyway. So let's call this join scene mockup newest. Oh, I'm gonna hate myself for this name later. There's so many. Let me just take you guys on a journey because I'm fairly certain that there's older join scene mockups that just look so different. God. Join scene mockup newest. I didn't actually name anything join scene mockup yet. Or it might just be in a different folder though. Characters, storyboards, trailer, UI. Fairly certain I did some other. Wow, doesn't really matter. I got distracted very quickly, very easily. Just get this one in here so I don't have a completely different file for my brainstorm. All right, so let's do that part again where I do the little bays based on this bit of ref there, Though.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
You're fine.
Whoa. Nice.
So I might do something slightly different. Was that your chair or was that your body?
No, my elbow sliding over the desk. Excuse me.
Why do I have these things on the same layer? That's not smart at all. Let's go, yeah. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, it's me. Walking to the... Photoshop's just fucking with me now. Here we go.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see now.
That's gonna be too crowded. What if I just do it just on the end of the... So what if this is a little hill? And then this just on the end there. And then... Oop. Yeah, I was about to put the lines on the outer edges. I was actually working on that, but then I saw that, like, you saw me put another one of those lines here, and I immediately realized that if I was gonna put that line on here, on here, on here, and then that times 8 on all of those lines, all of those patterns, gonna be very busy, looking, very noisy, and then you have to realize that. Can we hold on? How can I... Lance.
Yes.
I'm gonna send you a thing.
Send me a thing.
Our Discord.
We have a live stream chat.
Yeah, but I want to send you something that they can't read.
Oh, I see. Fine. All right. I needed to send something to Victor anyways.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so, yeah, sorry, just had to check. We have some NDAs, so just had to check real quick if I'm allowed to talk about the fact that we're, making this thing for Nintendo Switch. There we go. Lance just told me that I'm definitely allowed to talk about it.
Yes, you're allowed to talk about it.
So, considering that, you have to consider that all art is going to be maybe viewed at like this scale, right? So, doing too many of those lines, it's all going blah, 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 blah around there. Already this typography is very illegible. It's very hard to read. Might be something like this, actually. Let me grab my Switch.
There's a question about what am I currently working on. I'm actually working right now on the functionality of actually this join scene, in the sense that if your little bumper car goes over a level selection, that this data gets saved somewhere. And because it's a vote-based system, that means if your other 3 players, your other 3 friends go stand on other levels, their votes also count, and then that's how you decide which level, which map you're actually going to play on. But we need to have all that data. We need to have decision-making functionality somewhere. So I'm actually programming that as we speak. and I'm communicating a little bit with Victor, so sometimes I'm a little quiet to make sure he understands where I'm going with this, because at the end of the day, he has to put all the voting platforms in and understand why they work the way they do. So there's a lot of like communication involved on my end. But yeah, I'm programming the vote system essentially so that the map works, and as well as just making the whole lobby system actually work. As Yoram said, we're working with for the Nintendo, and I actually do have the device here for developers. So I also need to make sure any code I make, it's performant, it works well, it's readable as far as like feedback and all this stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. This morning I was working on the budgeting and some of the more business stuff, which I sadly cannot say anything about right now. But I'm at least working on the programming side. Anyway, Yoram, you're back. Welcome back.
Yep. Yeah, so just to be clear, if you see me slapping this thing around, this is not a dev kit, this is just normal. Lance is the only
just
one
to be...
Lance has the dev kit before you're like, oh my god, I actually got to see a dev kit. Nope. This is just a normal ass switch. So what I just did is you can see over here that I have a very small version of the document open on my second monitor here that I in the real world kind of compare to the screen size of the Switch. So
is that the Switch size? Is that actually how it looks like?
Well, on my monitor, yeah, that's the same physical size as the Switch monitor. So that's now funny. I can work zoomed in on my Cintiq here. So you guys kind of tell what I'm like here. But I still have this reference of what that looks like in physical size on the Switch, kind of on my other screen. It's very like
that's
pro game
inventive.
But yeah, so that's kind of so like type like this, right? This topography here to get that legible is just very very hard. And there's actually, so we had a conversation yesterday, I think, Lance, or this morning about I no longer have it open, the character creation screen, and there's stuff in there like names of characters and buttons and prompts and stuff like that. I have not checked any of that with that physical size of the Switch screen, so it's going to be very exciting. How do you call it?
Sure, let's call it that.
I'm kind of anxious.
That's better.
About checking that on the Switch and seeing how that turns out.
That'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It won't be fine. It'll be wrong, or it'll have some problems. But we can fix those problems. That's I think the approach.
Yeah. Sure, we can.
So
do we have everything in place?
No, that's not going to be legible, right? No, that's horrible. Lance.
Yeah.
Did you know that art is not easy?
Really?
Weird, right?
I thought it was like a download away.
Yeah. You just kind of, you look at some ref and then instantly you can just kind of do it.
So tell me something about this bay idea. Is each bay gonna point to a theme? I think not. Is the bays more of
the base is where each of the cars come out of. So player 1 comes out of bay 1.
Yes.
And then player 2 comes out of bay 2 and stuff like that.
So what's
looking at it now, that middle part's way too big.
I see.
Yeah. Because now you only have this little sliver around the outside to drive over, and then
save often, I would say.
What?
Save often.
Who, me?
I would. Yes.
Nah. It's also not very elegant. I could also just make it. So my concern is kind of like, because all the players, they can spawn at the same time, right? They probably wouldn't, because they're all going through a set of menus and they'll be done with that at different times.
Yeah, but if somebody
they can.
Yeah,
join at
sure they can.
join at the exact same time. So no matter what, we're gonna have to have several separate entrances for these different players so that they don't just spawn in the same spot. Or we do one spot that they all come out of and then make these players wait for each other.
No, don't do that. Don't let make players wait.
No, right? So that in that case, we have to have at least 4, probably 8 if we're going to do 8 players for online.
Yeah, although online
exits.
you can kind of cheat it because you can say online cars come out of a different platform, or you can say
We still want to put them on the same platform,
yeah.
right?
Well, we can also make it like dependent, like maybe local play is this platform and an online play will be a different platform, maybe more of a rectangular one with 4 on each side. What I'm saying is like the amount of people who play online versus the amount of people who play local, it's hard to say. So how often will you even see 8 players come out at once or at all? Like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is fine for now. I mean, we can see what Victor has to say. He's got to build it and animate it. So, but is this going to be animated? Yeah, it is, right? There's going to be like, they're just going to appear.
The entire
right?
point of this one is that it's simpler than our animated version.
That's right. Yeah, so it's not going to be animated. Perfect. Well, then no worries. I would just say let the cars kind of like appear right there, even if it's all 8 at once.
Well, the only part that's going to be animated, the car is going to come driving out. Like it's just going to come out.
Yeah, we'll give him a little
doesn't
boost.
Even have to. Yeah, we don't even have to make it animation. We'll just make the car.
No. Yeah. We'll give him a little force right there, but no, it's fine.
I can also I'll do an inverse of this design just to see what that is like.
Yeah.
Something is slowing down my computer or something terrible. Sorry. So the inverse of this would be not having them come out of the middle, but having them come out of the sides. Something that we have to keep into account, though, is that there's these islands around it. There, and there, I think. No. I'm gonna do island, portal, sorry. Island, portal, island, portal, island, portal. Like that.
Perfect. All right. Voting system functional.
All right. Let's kind of make it nearly equidistant, but it doesn't really matter too much. It doesn't kind of line up with those guys there. All right. The downsides of doing this one, though, so just kind of
oh boy, remove vote. Gotta remove your vote.
awkward silence because I'm concentrating on thinking about things. I don't think I like this idea though.
One trigger enter, one trigger exit. Remove vote.
Ik zie alles verwijderen.
Kom dan.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Let's see.
Lens.
Yeah.
Should we just make like an RPG or something?
Yeah, let's do that. Screw it.
Cool.
All right.
Like a hack and slash.
Shift delete everything.
I don't know. I want to make some game about, feeling or making sure that you retain a certain status.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I feel a certain way right now, and I want to keep that feeling. And then you walk through a bunch of proc gen environments, and you're like, I wish I stayed this way.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It feels weird. I don't have a side project anymore.
Well, I mean, we can always make a sci-fi horror game.
Yeah, we could. We could.
Or one of the other. Actually, have a ton of new things in the idébook.
Well, we have a game jam soon-ish.
Yep.
So maybe I'm gonna save my lust, let's say.
Wow.
My lust for
wow.
Secondary private game development needs. Okay, so the voting
Imagine
systems
just
are
working
in
on the
place.
game you want to make, and then being like, I want to do more game making in my free time to work on more games.
More games. Yeah. Says nobody's sane, at least. But yeah, here am I. I don't know. I like the freedom of experimenting a little bit more without worrying about
all of our worries, basically.
Yeah, and take whatever I learn into the I call it like the main project. I always have a main project and a side project. This is the main project, and then the side project does something for the main project in the long run or at some point. All right, voting systems are in place. I actually need to test this thing. But
I'm not happy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's all right. It's not good.
I don't know, it just feels shitty. All of this stuff doesn't feel. Let's see, what was my argumentation before? In the old join scene, I wanted them to start on the outside and drive. Oh, right, that's something that we're missing now. We had the pool in the middle for people who didn't want to make a choice, who just want to have their vote be random.
Yeah, they can stay in the middle.
Yeah. So we had them start on the outside, facing towards each other, to achieve two things, right? To achieve them to be able to go and pick random really quickly for those people who just want to go, I don't give a fuck, I just want to go random, and also to make them compete with each other straight away. I think that was kind of the argumentation there. So I think I want to have them start on the outside again.
Nice.
All right. I'm just gonna find a visually pleasing way to do that. But that's cool, because now I have something. I've got a bit more direction on what I want to do, so that's cool. Let's take look around in. I actually have. All right. So this is my super messy work scene. It's where whenever I want to mock up something or kind of mess around or think of new stuff. Here's a super old. The main menu was going to be this arcade hall where Dashing Dodgems is a game within the game, and then you press go and you kind of like have this camera animation. This was a very long meeting. That we settled on that, and then just immediately I think the week after we were like, nah, never mind. I think, right?
Yeah.
Something super weird. Just during the meeting we were like, oh, okay, let's do that, and then next week we're like, nah, let's not do that.
Maybe not. Yeah.
But here is kind of like the space where I do mock-ups for the join scene. As you can see, there's all these tubes. Can just get the hell out of here. We don't use that anymore. But I can make little garages, and then I don't know what all this stuff is doing here. Let's get rid of it. Oop, not that one. These, get rid of those. I did actually make little garage boxes before. I think this might actually be animated or something. Boop. Can open up like that. But what if we? Oh, we can also do these literal micro machine ramps that you get launched. Nah, that's a lot of.
Oh, that.
Let's not do that. That'd be super cool though. This would be cool though. One of those roofs. Some of those signs, and yeah, I can work with that. Chat has died down all the way.
Yeah, well, we are hard at work, and I like to think the chat is also very hard at work.
So they're just respecting our time. They're just like, let's not bother them right now.
I think that's it. I don't know if that's it, but yeah.
A block is 1 by 1, right?
Yeah. Oh no,
normal...
10 by 10.
Oh, 10 by 10. All right. So a garage would be maybe 5 by 5. I can also make it bigger. Fuck it.
Chat is here. It says.
Yay! Hi, chat.
It's all good.
Yeah, I can't wait for us to have a version of this game that we can just kind of put out there online, so that we can kind of, because right now you guys are just looking at this and going, hey, I have no opinion about this, because you don't know really like what playing the game is like. At some point it'd be really cool if we could just do these online alphas, and then you guys can actually just play a bit and be like, oh hey, it'd be cool if you guys did this or whatever. Or exactly. Whatever. So I would love to ask for your guys' opinions, but you probably have an opinion, but it wouldn't be you won't be able to go, oh hey, I played this, and right?
I feel like that way about something, yeah.
You feel that way about something?
I always feel something about something.
Are you talking about the game we discussed this morning? Or one of the other games that we regularly discuss?
Many other games. Many other... No. Shit, man. I'm trying to like prep up the lobby to work with, to test.
Yeah.
But it seems to be like very half-assed. I'm losing. I don't have a lot of settings that I normally have. Fuck. I need to like copy it off an old lobby scene now. Oh yeah, this lobby scene is great. I liked it though, but
What, the gods one?
yes, the gods one was nice, but it wasn't meant to be.
Just didn't fit the
Look,
game.
it didn't fit the game. It was nice, but did not fit the game. Did not fit the game. Copy this. Go to Fictors, join scene, Redux, dump that stuff. Bam, right there. Move this. Go back in here.
I wonder if...
Shit, it says warming up. Right, and then here we add a little lobby manager.
Oh, there it is. That's the one.
You got it?
Yep. I got a thing. A certain little something. That's really big. That's what she said. If I whisper, the stream doesn't hear it, right?
It's family friendly. Yeah. Right, perfect. Done. And then
all of this needs to be bigger. All of this needs to be bigger. Oh yeah, I love how Unity handles just scaling multiple things. Oh, hold on, let me just...
yeah, lovely.
Why does this just pop out like that? Boom, boom, boom. Weird.
Cool. If I press play, do I see my regular? Almost. Cool. Auto spawn cameras. Yes. Let's see. Oh, I see. Okay, great.
But let's grab this guy here. Doesn't have to.
Man, we still have our old character creation in here, though. Shit. Terrible.
Where?
Yeah, in the scenes, the menu, garage, P1 to P4. That sucks. But yeah, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do when they come for you?
Yeah, what you gonna do? Then we put low.
Thought I had some. I need some stream-friendly music. I played on earlier streams a Spotify playlist that was supposedly stream-friendly, and then I got muted anyway.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Big yikes.
So now I'm kind of hesitant, but it's very hard for me to work without any music. So that kind of sucks.
You can. What can you do? You can.
Yeah, I need to get some. I think I still have some Rockcat. I bought this streaming bundle once. I think it's called Rockcat, which is all stream friendly, stream safe music. But the music also sucks. So you know.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Give me these.
So, kind of the challenge. One of the challenges here is I want to kind of find a shape that is interesting from a top-down perspective. I think Victor actually has garages in his, might still be in his testing folder. Might just steal one of those.
Oh yeah.
If they still exist. Joinscene animators test. Yeah, here they are. Here they are. Why would I struggle with trying to find interesting shapes if Victor already did that struggle?
Huh.
But those are kind of like sci-fi. Like though they are fun. They're so fun.
Hey, wait a minute.
Could do a sci-fi theme for it. Oh, we actually have a sci-fi theme.
We do have a sci-fi theme.
Yeah, so then the center part can't be a sci-fi theme. It has to be its own theme.
The fuck. Oh shit.
This could be interesting though. This could be cool. Actually do have a game camera, so it should be able to. At least preview this, right?
What are you looking at anyway?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to get a preview from the game's perspective, but I guess my hacky workaround doesn't work anymore.
Oh, I see.
I used to just have like the player camera, just separately the player camera in this scene, and then you could preview through the game view, but that doesn't do that anymore. Not sure.
Aha, I see. Okay. Preview. Give me a preview. Player 4 right here. Bam.
And then we just have a thing in the middle. Bloop. Still not sure why this is so incredibly broken.
I don't know.
So, Deusune.
I don't understand why we don't have a working lobby for some reason. This is weird. We always have one. This one doesn't work. It's bizarre. What's been moved?
Everything's been moved.
Why though?
Yeah. But I mean, like specifically in scenes.
Yeah, I don't see any cameras. It's bizarre.
Should actually do.
Has there been a change to? Let me double check something real quick.
No, wait, no, I shouldn't do that. Hold on. I should do that one, and then select face ring. Boink. Nope. Slope. Yes, and then do the extrude. And then we can go ahead and grab that guy. Grab that face.
I see.
Grab that guy. Also select that edge loop. Pro Builder, man.
Pro Builder.
It is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do something like that. Imagine having to go back to Maya just to build something like this. Oh my god. Maya. Blender.
No way. No Myers. Why is it?
Oh Maya, no cry. matter. Doesn't really matter. And let's do just a random other color just to be able to distinguish. Drive to the middle.
Oh,
okay. That's be bigger though. Yikes!
Yeah.
Look at the stream here. Look at what happens when I scale this motherfucker.
I'm watching. Oh. Huh?
Look what happens if I enter a different scale in this boy here. Oh, 1 by 1 by 1 actually works now. It stretched itself into oblivion when I did 2 by 2 by 2 before, but now for some reason it doesn't.
But this is the parent object. Is there an object inside of it, or is this the?
This is just the Pro Builder cylinder.
It has its own object size. Apparently, it's read only.
That's read only, yeah. If this was just correctly, if I could write an object size here, that would be great because I could just go and work in Pro Builder's preferred things. But for some reason, you're not allowed to set those values. So whatever, nice. This is fine. I can do 0.8, I guess. I mean, this could be fun, right? You have your islands around there, and then you have the garages in between there, and then have not in these colors, obviously, but just a thing in the middle that it's kind of like the I don't want to choose a thing right now, and then I would put kind of like the warning stripe stuff on this guy here and there.
But those garages on the sides?
Yeah.
Or those just... Okay. And the cars come out of that?
Yeah. So you start your game, probably will have the camera angle like this, because the islands need to have the most interesting angle, right? So they shouldn't be straight on. And then your car just kind of comes up, whoop, or whoop, whoop.
Okay.
But then for the player, the player that starts here, he would, have his camera be over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Comes out, and then you drive.
Okay.
And stuff.
All right.
And then I just need to kind of come up with a thematic layer for it. But as a layout, I think this should be better than having the garage in the middle. Also because if you have the garage in the middle, like if I spawn on this end and I want to choose one of these levels over here, I have to drive all the way around. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So
that's true as well.
Well, that only took me 3 hours. No, I've only been streaming for 1.5 hours. So it took me 1.5 hours. All right. Let's do... I want to have a design for a garage before we end the day, and some color palette for Victor to work with, and I think then we're pretty close to golden. So let me just grab a screenshot here.
Great, that works. Perfect. Yes. Where's my controller? Here we go. Here's the controller. Here's the cable.
I'm gonna grab another coffee real quick.
Yeah, I should probably go soon too, but okay. I'll see you in a minute.
I have an itch to create something. An itch to create something. But what? Well, yeah. Lance is going to answer that while I make some coffee. Be right back.
That's a difficult one. It really depends. Like, what do you enjoy? Like, when I want to make something, I base it off like maybe a movie or a series that I've seen. like a feeling that I got or an aesthetic. So that could be like, oh, maybe I'll make a roguelike because I've seen some kind of like Indiana Jones type movies. Or I want to make a stealth game first person because I've watched, I don't know, Mission Impossible or whatever. It's hard to say, I think. I don't know. Sometimes you can just make games based on the games you're already playing. Maybe you can make a redux, like maybe make a like a light version of a game you already enjoy, or already a game you play, but then a different take on it, like what if type of game. Like I like making games that I used to play. I love Advance Wars on the Game Boy, for example. Great game, just because of the simplicity, but yet you can, make your own maps, and it's got some strategic value to it. Cool. I would make a game like that just because I enjoyed that type of game. So and then you can make it as small as you want, maybe like 3 units, 2 units. Maybe you can introduce a support mechanic for that. Say, you have 3 units, and you can say you can combine units, and then you can make new units with stats that like are inherited. But it will cost you some kind of resource, and to have that resource, you have to conquer parts of the map. So then you can see at the beginning nobody can combine anything until they grab a couple of like resources, and then mid game becomes of like how players start combining things, and then end game will be like who has the better. Contra is great, right? Like, man, I used to play Contra. The only problem with Contra and games like that is it's so art heavy as far as like I remember it. Damn, like unless you're good at it as yourself, like the pixel art and all the animation, you would end up making like a Contra without all the art you can do, and just like focus on the mechanics and what makes that tick. Make your own version. You have like free assets you can grab, or maybe somebody who already made an asset pack. Like Kenny made a lot of assets you can probably use. I like that sort of thing. Just kind of like looking at stuff you enjoyed in the past, and maybe some of that stuff is not really around anymore. Like you don't really see many Contra games anymore, right? That could be something you could make. And the trick is make it small. Like consider it like a game jam. You just focus on one mechanic, make a prototype out of it, and it shouldn't take you more than a week. And then after a week, you got your prototype. You got your one mechanic, maybe a support mechanic if you had time for it. And then you kind of go from there. Maybe it sucks. You just leave it be. Like, all right, I made it. I made a prototype. Here's the mechanic. This is my research. This is where it came from. It sucks or it doesn't. And if it doesn't suck, you can just take it to the next level. Now you add a support mechanic. Now you add a little bit more art. Or, now you make a gameplay loop complete. You add a title screen. You add an end screen. You add some type of loop in your game so you can distribute it a little bit to your friends or family. I mean, yeah, Arkanoid, I love it. Like, you could definitely try that. Have that ball have special properties. You can make your prototype to just be a one-on-one copy of Arkanoid, and then you can kind of introduce more of a modern take on it, like maybe the ball is upgradable or the paddle is upgradable, or have something in there that makes the play. You can make a multiplayer or a local multiplayer Arkanoid. Like fuck it, why not? You could try that. Have like another player basically play it from the top to bottom instead of bottom to top, and if the balls bounce off each other, innuendo not meant, then maybe something happens. Maybe some blocks get added, or you have an explosion effect, or you can make like a very special case out of that one. Yeah. You can also say like the blocks are different in this version of Arkanoid. Perhaps they have some type of AI, or perhaps maybe you play it from the blocks perspective. Like you have an AI that actually controls the paddle, but you are like this overseer who places the blocks or who tries to make a high score out of how long it will take for the AI to beat your level, which introduces a whole different. It's more of a management game than it is an arcade game at that point. But that could be interesting. Like, what happens on that side of that, Arkanoid story? Like, who places the blocks? Well, you have this game master who sets them up. Yeah. I used to have this idea, and maybe someday I'll make just to get it off my chest. It would be an actual like asteroid Space Invaders game where you are the invader, in the sense that you control the invaders. You control it from as seen from the mothership, where you spawn these little guys who go down and try to attack the Earth. But they get all like shut down, right, from the player's perspective of the original Space Invaders. But if you play as the mothership, the alien mothership, then it will be like more of a, okay, which guys do I send out? Do I send out a scout? It's the alien that passes above. You can do all that sort of stuff. That could be interesting. Like, what's that story like? How does that play like?
And I'm back.
Hey, man.
Hi.
If we look forward to any specific Unity feature, honestly, yeah, there's a couple.
Dots?
Honestly, yeah, the dots, the burst compiler with that. I think the new physics system is gonna be fucking great. I don't know if we're gonna switch to Havoc, but we have, this is our current project. But if we do like a new project after this, we most likely will. It will probably include
URP,
like
WRP, or
HDRP right
HDRP.
away.
Hype.
Just straight up, we're probably gonna go for the more high resolution, just everything like maxed out to try to make a beautiful PC centric game. Maybe I'm saying this right now, I might change my mind, but yeah, I think the Havoc system, or just the physics, the dots, the burst compiler, just
the new Unity input system, something that we're
yeah, I'm curious to see how that
Lance,
goes against Rewired.
The new Unity UI system that's coming in 2019.3. Are we not
the
switching?
UI builder?
Yeah.
Or
are we switching to that?
Not for this project,
like
I don't
that.
think. Yeah, I mean, we can try to see how that like works for us. Maybe
I've looked into it. It's basically HTML CSS, which is cool because then I can actually, do things right in it instead of.
If we can plan around it and be like, we can recreate whatever UI we do have, which we don't have a lot of, so that's great.
Yep.
Dark UI. I think our UI in the game. Aha, you mean in the Unity? Yeah. Fuck. That should be a default. They should just make the dark a default. It's
so yeah for or do you mean for the game or for Unity, Jungle? I think he's asking about in-game.
Unity. Are you in-game? I think Unity, but let's see what they say. But if it's Unity, they should really have that. If it's the game, I think we already have like a.
I mean, it's colorful. It's not dark.
Yeah.
It's not light. It's just very
vibrant. I don't know.
Right? It's like this, basically. It's very. Just waiting for the stream delay to end. Well, that's if I put Photoshop in full screen, the screen just goes black. Right. Gotta love Photoshop graphics drivers. Let me just do it like this. So it's kind of colorful and.
Yeah, he's talking about Unity.
Oh, he's talking about Unity. Oh, right. Yeah. So that's only supported in the Pro license of Unity, right? So.
But it should be default, man.
Yeah, it should absolutely be default. It's so dumb.
They're taking our eyes hostage. It's just like.
It's just so weird. Such a weird arbitrary thing to go.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah, only. I'm having way more trouble with this dumbass join scene than I thought I would. Though on the other hand, we all have been having a lot of trouble with the dumbass join scene for so long.
It's very like, on a good day you can tolerate it. On a bad day, it's just too bright. I used to have the dark theme by certain means, and I would actually be able to work at night. But nowadays, I just have to like. I have an app. I have an actual tool on my computer that like lowers my screen brightness beyond what is normally able, and that's the only way I can actually like work at night anymore with Unity, at least, because I have my Visual Studio dark theme, so that's no problem. But damn, Unity's gotta do something about this.
Unity's got a Unity.
Yeah, it's gotta unite on the front of UI theming.
It's yeah.
Have you seen the new UI though?
Yeah, looks really nice. Looks really bad in bright mode still, but it looks very, very clean in dark mode.
Yeah, it's very clean. Very bright, very clean.
Modern. But that's the cool part is that in the new Unity UI also works with UI elements the same way that game UI is going to, like, so they're going to replace canvas with UI elements, and UI elements for game UI is the exact same type of framework as that they're using to build the actual Unity UI in. So making a inspector window or a tool window for Unity actually works the same way as making actual UI for your game, which I think is pretty cool.
How about that? It's pretty nice.
Yeah. I need to stop drawing boxes though. If I want to make something interesting, it should not start with a box.
Hey, why are you doing this? Code? Okay, like stop. Register player.
Yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna play some music. I can't.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
The stream will get, or the recording will get muted for some of the time, but I don't care. I don't think anyone listens to hours and hours of or watches me do this for hours and hours anyway. So
yeah, do it.
I am gonna do that chilled cow kind of stuff because I believe that should be copyright free. Maybe
I don't know, but blast it.
Yeah.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Is it on?
Yep. You can't listen.
Yes,
to
it is. No, I know that.
Because
it was,
you would hear yourself all the time.
No, I get it.
You're not allowed to listen to it.
Nice. All right.
So right now I'm just trying to break up the squareness of the garage by just adding a bunch of stuff that you would find around garage, like a fuel pump and gas tanks and stuff like that. And also stealing this kind of edge around a slanted roof thing that I saw in the ref. But I'm not too sure about it. But just anything to try and make it have slightly more interesting shape and silhouette than just square. Though I think, I mean, the garage that Victor already did here, I mean, you could very much tell that he's doing that same thing, just breaking up the silhouette with these weird antenna things and just make sure it's not too square and stuff. I actually think that this style will work very well for a theme that we're gonna have that's revolving around one of our characters, Beta, which is this lovely gal right here, who's from the future. But that just means that the actual join scene itself can't use those exact same assets. Then it would be weird. Like it's like, yeah. So it has to be maybe a bit more generic. Or yeah.
Sweet. Let's see. Oh, nice. The lobby is almost completely working. Nice.
Oh, cool.
Sweet. All right. Well, the voting completely works. That's pretty neat. But there's no UI feedback. That's a shame. We gotta think about that one.
Right. It's cool that it works though.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And the game only starts if the same amount of people vote that are also connected. So 4 or 3 in online it will be 8, I guess, or 7. Okay, cool. Very cool.
V cool.
V cool. Just gonna make sure.
Have a couple of lights on there just to again break up any too square surface. Something like this could work. Just have your very typical garage. think I'm gonna do a couple more of these.
Okay.
I wish we had some sort of seed for our overworld lands.
A seed for it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some sort of overarching concept to refer to during design that kind of informs design decisions, you know?
Yes.
I taught a class about seed and concept like yesterday. What is it, Friday? No, Thursday. So yeah, yesterday, I think, to the first years. And I was like, you need to establish your seed very early on in your process.
Yeah,
which is
important.
It took us 1.5 years over at Yellowcake.
Oh yeah, did you tell that story?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I didn't tell the entire story. I just told them, like, us struggling to find our seed has cost us very dearly. It's cost us so many production hours and so much money in that regard.
Yeah, for sure.
That it's just a waste of resources.
Kind of was. But, you know, you learn from it. Our next game is a little bit better off in that
respect. Yeah.
In that respect, but yeah.
I want to do.
Sucks.
Yeah. It just But then also, I mean, that's what where did I leave the? There it is. No, that's not gonna work for us. It's just part of the process. I mean, I think everyone throws a lot of stuff away, or if they don't, and they're not designing, I think, in my humble opinion, right? If you just keep everything that you make, then you're not being very critical in your work, I think. Or you have a very, very, very solid vision. That could be, but I don't know, man. I don't think I know anyone who just has an idea fully formed in their brain and just go like, all right, this is what I'm going to make. It's in my brain. And then I'm just going to build it exactly as I thought it up. Right?
Yeah.
Or would you say that you didn't throw anything away during Stay Safe? Or didn't change anything fundamentally?
Oh man. Oh man, like I have so much thrown away. So much like still in there, just not like used. Abandoned mechanics or abandoned levels, designs, whatever. There's so much art that just didn't make it, you know? Right. Yeah, no, for sure. Like I said before a couple of hours ago, I don't understand how people can do a one thing and then be like, yep,
done.
This is it, masterpiece. I'm like, how? How do you don't? Look at it again. Like, iterate.
Absolutely.
Does it? Yeah. Is it sending the message as best as it can or not?
I mean, I think a lot of it is if you watch a stream by a very good artist, for instance, right? It almost looks like they have that gift where they just go, right, today we're gonna draw this and this and this and this, and then they just go ahead and draw it like in one go. And then you'd think like, oh my god, they just go and think of something and just draw it down. But then you don't see the 14 sketches in their sketchbook that they had already done before this stream, right? It's. I actually saw a Lowish post about this on her Instagram. She was like, "Yeah, I made this on the stream," and she didn't refer specifically to this theme, but she was like, "I been thinking about doing something like this for X months, right? Like for a certain number of months. It's just like I have 1,000 sketches. I have 1,000 sketches that just explore this idea, and then finally, I can. And I think that's a very much more real way of looking at designing things, where you just making all these ideas and just trying to come up with interesting ways to make it work or something, or just throw a bunch of shit away.
I don't know. I never really get attached too much on a single idea. I don't know.
Continue.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you do that, if you do get attached to your one idea, I think all my games would never even see beyond design, because I always sketch out my ideas. I'm very visual in that regard. I have a little book at home that I just fill, and if my first ideas would always be the ones that I go with, and I never be like, let me ask somebody else, or let me show it to somebody, or let me like sleep on it or change something, then I would never get beyond that phase, and it would always suck, and it would never really like send the message that I want to send, or not clearly anyway. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you've seen the idea bug, right? I mean, that's...
I have. Yeah, good shit. Yeah, good shit.
For those of you watching, all, I think by now 4 of you, because it's getting later in the day and people are kind of leaving. Let me show you guys the... Ooh, I have to be kind of careful with opening the drive on stream.
That is correct.
But the idea bug is right at the top there, so let me just grab this guy. So this is kind of what we're talking about, right? These little, you just have an idea and you just write it down, you make a little sketch of it. And then, I mean, to have a million ideas, right? It's all the time. And, none of those could be a full game, like right off the bat, right? They're all just bullshit until you start building it, and then when you start building it, you start, finding out like, oh, this doesn't work that way, or you start, or you put it in players' hands, and they just go, it's boring. They have to change a lot of shit. I don't think we've done very major changes on dashing though, based on player feedback. It's mainly our own.
Mainly done what? Like changes on what?
Changes on dashing based purely on what players say.
Well, you did the one level. You've definitely changed a lot of for
pillars.
Because
yeah,
because of player feedback. That was probably the biggest change.
Yeah. Pillars has definitely seen a lot of change. Oh, the lobby, by the way, that was, I think both Monique, who's Victor's girlfriend, and Annie, who'd been saying for months, like, hey, this doesn't feel like it fits.
This makes, that's true as well, yeah.
And then we do have a list of things that Victor wrote down from First Look. That I guess
big old list
changes and things that we saw. So I guess we do have a lot of changes based on player feedback. This one could be cool, by the way. I stole it 100% from a piece of ref, but
what do you mean? What is it?
Like instead of a garage, you just have this fuel station.
Oh, that's cool.
The car drives out from under. So it's not like a closed space, it's just this kind of building that...
I like that probably more than just a closed space building, to be honest.
Right? Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hyped about this one, because it allows you to do much cooler things with the shape of it. So it's always going to be a hidden box, otherwise. right? It's like secretly a box, but you're just adding things to it to make it look less like a box. But yeah, I like this one.
Let's see. What?
What's on your mind? I can hear your nails tapping.
I got this tool that I made so you can create triggers without coding a thing.
Yep.
It's this in-house thing. I have this little button that you can say, hey, if you enter this trigger, you can activate a couple of things like an animator, or you can go to a scene, or you can even enable or do something with game objects. Mm-hmm. But also code. You can also say, hey, I just run this code, like this function or whatever. But I have this little button that says check. And if you click on the check button, it will check if that code actually exists or not. Because if you don't check it and you run the game and the code doesn't exist, it will crash or it will like bug or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I made this button check, and it used to work where I would be able to check if the function exists or not. But now it doesn't work anymore. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm spending too much time on this insignificant little thing, but it was bugging me a little stumped. Like, why are you not working? You know, what the hell? What's the deal with that?
I was teaching rapid prototyping with Frank this semester.
Yeah.
We're doing the with the second years. You know, the bit about making tools and metrics.
Still analytics.
Yeah,
metrics.
And he was like, you know, what's super useful tool to make? A generic trigger kind of thing. And I was like, well, guess what Lance made for Yellowcake Games? That exact thing. And it was exactly made because Victor and I were asking for it. And
it's a pretty neat thing. It actually is very, you can do everything with it, really. And it's very expendable. Yeah. And it's great, except this thing. I had this made also. I made this because sometimes I need to activate some code. I just, I can't remember everything I make. I'm human. So if I make a typo, I could just bash that button like, hey, is this right? And it should say it's right or not. But now it just says it's not right. So okay, thanks a lot. But I'm gonna leave that button. Screw it. I'll check it later. Like, the chances of you guys using code is close to zero anyway. So whatever with that one. The good news is the voting definitely works, but I need to stress test it a little bit.
Are you gonna make a build?
Yeah, I need to make a build as well. I need to test it on the device.
That's why I wasn't sure if we could talk about it, because you keep referring to it as the device or whatever.
Yeah, no, that's true. I refer to it as the device in public. I guess it's a habit. But yeah, no, yeah. I don't know. No good reason, just habit. We just kind of talk about the inner workings of it and the what goes in to get it running on it, and you can share tips and tricks of how to be performant on such a device, but you cannot actually show it building on it and this or that.
Right.
So there's some rules to it, I guess.
Let's see what else we can steal from this toy maker. Oh, one of those big signs. Yeah, that could be cool. I mean, let's see what else I can come up with organically and completely independently on my own. I do not understand how Hanna-Barbera makes those like fucking random ass shapes that make no sense. It just looks so good. It's just like they just go blah. This is a building, and your brain just goes like, all right, yeah, all right, that looks fine. Like the Jetsons is just a fever dream. It's great.
All right. All right. Neat. Yeah, I'll have to build it later. Maybe tomorrow, maybe later. It's already 4 something.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to go to I wanted to do the game stream after the dev stream today.
Oh yeah.
But
game stream.
I've got Pathfinder.
You do have
So
Pathfinder. Okay.
Leave a bit early. Or leave early. I have to leave on time.
Yep. Right.
I think a wacky toy like Hanna-Barbera like theme for the overworld can work pretty well, by the way. Where we just do it, everything's super colorful in weird shapes and kind of this
it could work.
retro futuristic aesthetic. That could be pretty
cool. I wouldn't necessarily be against it at all. No.
Let's see what Victor thinks.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I mean, the main or the city theme is already kind of like that, where it's just not too like it's kind of whimsical and stuff. But I think if we just push the weird shapes a bit in the join scene, or just nod towards cartoons and toys a bit more, that could work really well, I think. Like, this thing would be fucking cool to have in a join scene, right? This is weird.
It would. I would love it. Looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's have some flowers in there or whatever. Let's hear what chat thinks.
Chat's asleep.
Chat is fucking asleep. Sleeping at the wheel, guys.
Okay.
I mean, to be honest, we don't do any design work. We just ask chat, and then your guys' job or gals to actually do these, make these decisions for us. So
please do.
Yeah. going to steal some literal Hanna-Barbera colors for this. I think I'm just gonna grab a palette from this guy. Let's see if we can toss some color on there.
Oh, I see. All right, no, voting is definitely bug free right now. I was a little confused. Like sometimes you vote twice, you come into this little platform and it'll say 2. Like, it's just 1 card. Yeah, it turns out I had an extra collider tucked away somewhere, which did react to it, but I didn't see it right away. So I was like, oh, okay. All right, so that's cool. That's in. It lacks feedback for the player right now. There's no way to know. And it lacks some feedback. Yeah, it lacks feedback for the player that they voted, and it lacks feedback for the party who voted on what, if at all. So that's something we need to like look into, probably UI based, but we can probably do something with maybe something in the sphere that comes up, the level preview thing. That's something I'll leave out for you guys, but I can at least make the whole process go without the feedback.
Right.
Do we want like a countdown in a sense that everybody's voted or is on a platform? It counts down until like it locks in.
Yeah.
So people still get the chance to. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Okay, then we do need an extra thing, but I'll park that for a little later. I don't think it's not a prototype thing, right? So I'm gonna move ahead and create the actual transition. Yes.
Hello. Of course. Yep. All right, let's try that one again. Grab that, do the inverse, make that a mask for a new layer, and then I can go and add something. Oh, there we go. All right. Set that to something fun. And of course, let's put that on normal then. I hate going from grayscale to color. Because I am a dumbass sometimes, and I paint with transparency instead of grayscales. Which makes blending this stuff really annoying to do. I can do... Yeah, I'll have to do actual values to be able to... do anything with this. Let's just go that, just do a very light gray on everything. There we go. Just brighten out some stuff here. Some of that stuff.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna have to end, by the way, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking that. I got some stuff to discuss with you guys. And yeah, let's yeah, all right. Take it away.
Oh, right now? Hold on.
Whenever. I'm just saying. I'm just leaving it in your
ready.
hands.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hold on. let me just finish up. I want to have some colors on here before I show it to Victor. So I think he's watching. He might be fake watching.
Fake watching. Of course he is.
There we go. Now I can toss some colors on there real quick.
Meh. Yeah.
They're not popping these colors.
Okay, let's see.
That's alright. It's a bit muddy, but it's a sketch, so who gives a shit? Let's toss this in our chat. Alright, I'm also seeing the viewers leaving already because it's getting late in the day and everybody's been watching for hours. So, yeah, I think we're going to end the stream right there. It's good to have you guys, to have had you guys here. Next week, there should be another stream. Unless something weird's gonna go on. Nope. We're gonna have another stream next week. Same time, same place. Be sure to subscribe to the other Twitch channel. So that's the official Yellowcake. I'll make sure to. That's hard to find us.
All right.
Nope, that's the same one. All right, I'll make sure to have a link somewhere. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. That's our main way of communicating with you guys about the game right now. So that's at Yellowcake Game, and make sure to join us on our Discord, which is yeah, it's called Yellowcake Games. So you can find the invitation link in the Twitch chat, but you can also find it if you go to yellowcakegames.com and then to the Dashing Dodgems page. There is a connect button right here that you can use to connect with us. And there's also a link to our Twitter right there, so you can find everything there.
And the Discord link is in the Twitter even, so you can find it anywhere.
You can find it everywhere. It's so easy to join us and to come hang out and talk philosophy with us about time travel and stuff like that. I think that's all for now. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.
See you later, guys.